Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Natalie Nadeen here. If you are a brand new subscriber, first time watcher, I showed up on your recommendations page, then hey, it's your girl Natalie Nadeen. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join me. Now, if you're a longtime subscriber, supporter, watcher, you've been lurking through the virtual bushes of YouTube, don't worry, I still love you. Thank you for coming back to see me. Like, I know it's been a while. Your girl's been just a little bit inconsistent. But you know what? We're not going to worry about that because 2024, it's all about showing up unapologetically. It's about being consistent. It's about being true and your best self. So that's what we're doing. For today's video, I decided to do a get to know me because let's be honest, it's been a good 2.5 minutes since your girl has been on this channel. It's been a good maybe 3 minutes since I've sat down and did a video like this. So I'm like, you know what? Let me reintroduce myself to those who knew me and let me introduce myself to those who don't know me. So for today's video, we're gonna do a get to know me. I have my set of questions right here and we're just gonna read through them. These ones aren't really like,
what's your favorite color? What's your zodiac sign?
Like, no, we're gonna go a little bit more in depth. And these questions will also kind of explain maybe a little bit of where I've been, why I've been away. And it's just a way to reconnect with the girlies, right? And the boys, because I know some of you be watching too. So let's get into it. So we can do the first two basic questions. Where are you from? I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm a Canadian girly. A.
Wait, why would I say A?
Oh, social media. You see what they do? Okay. Anyways, I'm from Toronto, Canada. Born and raised and proud of it. How old are you? I am 27 years old. Yes, my big age. Oh God. Last night I was watching my first get to know me that I recorded like back in 2017 when I first started this YouTube channel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I look like a baby. Who's that girl? Because that's not she. Oh my. Question number 3. Are you a full-time YouTuber? If not, where are you working right now? So I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I'm not a full-time content creator. Maybe later on in the future that might happen. But I really love just creating content for the fun of it. And it's a great way for me to express myself. I've never been the artistic type to like draw and like do a lot of like writing and painting. No. I love content creating. I love digital communications, digital media, and just finding these really cool ways to express myself, who I am, and help people express themselves. But where I'm working right now, I work for a nonprofit organization in the entertainment industry, and it's focused on like Black, Indigenous, Asian, South Asian, people of color in the Canadian screen industries, to be more specific. And it's been a great time. I'm also the communications manager for this company, and I've had the chance to really learn more about the industry, connect with some really great people, and just have a better understanding of the entertainment in my own backyard. A lot of people can probably relate to this. If you grew up in Canada, in Toronto or whatever, we all have this notion that you need to go to the States to make it big or to work in entertainment. And it's like, we have so much right here. We just need to share it more. We need to know our resources, connect with people, network. So it's been really cool. Question number 4. How did you get into content creation, specifically podcasting and photography? Okay, so let's break that up into two sections. So photography started back when I was in university, and I had a friend who was a photographer, and she kind of like showed me the ropes, kind of started teaching me a 1-2. I invested in my first camera, and it kind of just built up from there. And it's something that I really love. I'm not consistent with that either. Oh, child, we really have a pattern going on, don't we? But it's something that when I do it, I really love it. And it's something that I really want to get back into in 2024, really sharpen my skills, learn the techniques a little more, get better with my editing. But I've definitely done quite a few photos over the years, and I really do love it. So that's how I got into photography. In terms of podcasting, I learned about, podcasts as a medium back in 2019. And I remember just going to the library and they had a whole studio set up, they had equipment, and at that time no one was really renting the room or the equipment. So I'm like, okay, let me see what this is all about. And I literally stayed in that room for like 2 hours or so, and I created my account, I created the name, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. I recorded my first episode, and it kind of just took off from there in terms of my interest. The podcast itself as a show really took off in 2020 when I kind of niched it down a bit and figured out my style. So yeah, a lot of the things I do in terms of content creation and digital media happens for me just putting my foot in the water and just dabbling in a bit of everything. So I don't really specialize in one thing, but I do have a lot of fun just experimenting and seeing, is this something I like? Is this something that I don't like? And then I take it from there. Ooh, upside down. Okay, next question. How did you come up with your podcast name? So for those of you who don't know, I host a podcast called Unapologetically Her. And that name really came from, I reached a place in my life where I was tired of apologizing, whether right or wrong. I was tired of conforming to what people thought I should be versus what I wanted to be. I got tired of people pleasing, and I'm just like, I just want to be unapologetically me. Before I did the podcast, my Instagram name used to be Unapologetically Me. Even I was watching back the get to know me video from a couple years ago, and I had used the term, or the word I should say, like unapologetic. I forgot what I was answering to, but it just seemed to be a word that has always stuck with me because I think I was trying to reach that place of being unapologetically me, and it just fit, just being unapologetically her. And with that name, it doesn't only work for me, but it works for my guests because I do interview style podcasts a lot. Sometimes I do solo episodes. And at the end, I love asking my guests, like, what does it mean to be unapologetically you? For so long, we always have to put up a facade and again, be what other people want us to be instead of just being unapologetically ourselves. So the name wasn't only important to me, but it was to also showcase a safe space for the people to come on my show. Next question. How do you typically recharge after a long day or week? Any specific rituals or activities that help you unwind? I don't really have anything in particular that I do. I do know for 2024, I'm trying to get into my fit girl era. So I bought one of those like cute walking pads. I know you've seen it on TikTok. And my goal is after a long day, a long week, and really just to stay active on a daily because I'm at a desk for 8 hours straight. I want to make sure that, put on my favorite show, put on a podcast, listen to my music, and at least walk for half an hour a day. If I'm not doing that, again, I love music. I am a die-hard 90s R&B fan. I will play my music, put on my headphones full blast, and just kick back and relax. So those are the little things that I like to do to kind of unwind. Sometimes it is to go for a walk outside when the weather is nice, because your girl is afraid of the cold. Go for a walk outside, just woosah, get my body stretched out, get the blood flowing. So nothing too crazy, but those are the simple things I like to do and want to do. Next question. What's something from your childhood or upbringing that you feel has shaped who you are today? I'm gonna be honest with you, growing up in a single parent household with a single mother, I think definitely shaped who I am today. Seeing my mom being the kind of person to just go after what she wants, being very independent, a go-getter, and that definitely shaped who I am because, again, very independent. I really don't like asking for help. Sometimes that's great, sometimes not so much. But I've always been someone who's like, I want it, I get it. I just go for it, right? The independence of just like relying on myself, do what I gotta do. That's not to say that you can't ask for help when you need it or whatever the case may be. But just being in that kind of environment really pushed me and really shaped also my work ethic as well. So yeah. And from a child to now, that's how I am. Can you recall a moment or a decision that made you realize the importance of embracing your individuality? I don't think there was a particular moment, but I think it's something that happened over time, and I'm now at that point where I'm like at least 85 to 90% confident in my individuality, and I embrace it more. And I think it was just surrounding myself with different people, enjoying my own solitude. And I think that's something that we don't do often. We're always surrounded by people and by friends, and sometimes that shapes who you are, and you become, again, more like the people you surround yourself with. You're morphing into these different characters and how would you say it, taking on these characteristics. And I think over time, as I became more self-aware, more just to myself, I started to embrace my individuality more and started to embrace the things that I thought were quirky, maybe like are stuff that I really love about myself. But again, that's part of the self-love journey. That's part of the growth. Some people can't really embrace that just at the flip of a switch. Sometimes it takes time, and that's okay, because especially as young adults, as teenagers, we're growing, we're transforming, we're learning. And that thing where people say, like, you're friends with these people because you saw them 5 times a day is a real thing. When you're not really around those people like that anymore, you kind of learn more about yourself, and you start to be like, okay, I like this, maybe I don't like that, maybe I do want to kind of change this. But you're doing it for yourself, not for other people. Next question. Have you ever had a mentor or role model who significantly impacted your life? What did you learn from them? I've had several mentors and role models for sure. I'm someone who personally, likes to surround myself with older people because I never want to be the smartest in the room. I always want to learn from others, and I always surround myself with women who either do what I want to do or have characteristics where I'm just like, I can relate, I get it, I can learn from this. So I still have my grade 2 teacher, who I really looked to as a role model growing up, especially at the time when I thought I was going to become a teacher. I looked to her style of teaching. I used to volunteer and spend a lot of time with her. When I worked in retail, I had one particular manager who till this day, I think definitely is one of the people who played a very important role in my life, where it's just like, even career-wise, although I'm not working in retail, how to deal with customers, the customer service aspect, which carried over into the communications field that I'm working in now. And to see the crossover and how it relates and how I engage with people stemmed from retail. The boss that I have right now, it's very, very much like a mentor for me, because I'm like, oh, here's a veteran in the industry. Here's someone that I really want to be like. Let me see how she communicates. Let me see how she operates. And it's not that you want to be like this woman, but there's certain elements and lessons that you get from each one of them that do impact who you are and how you carry yourself. Just make sure you're taking the right characteristics, obviously, but there's definitely been people outside of my mother throughout my life where I'm just like, I see what you did there. So long story short, I learned a lot. Forgot that. What's a skill or hobby you've been meaning to pursue or learn more about but haven't yet found the time for? Everything that I do kind of tie in together. So definitely, I said this before and I'll say it again, photography is definitely something that I want to put more time into this year. really learn how to edit and figure out my particular style, learning the angles. Something else that I want to put back my energy into is social media management. I did that for a while for various clients, and I'm like, I like this. And again, I kind of just took a step back because it was starting to become too much. And I said, okay, like going back into it, if I do this year, again, let's figure out like what's popping on social media, what's trending, what have I missed out on that I should know and take it even further. Not just for clients, but for my own personal socials. So a lot of the things that I do hobby-wise and career-wise always kind of intertwine. So yeah. Can you share a moment or experience that pushed you out of your comfort zone and taught you something valuable about yourself? Okay, so in 2022, I took my first ever solo trip to Oakland, California. And when I say that's probably the best thing I could have ever done for myself, baby, let me tell you. So you guys can check out the vlogs. They're on this channel. It was originally posted to my podcast channel, but now it's over here. So, you know, run up those views and comments. But in 2022, I took my first solo trip to Oakland, California. And let me make sure I'm phrasing this correctly. It is definitely something that took me outside of my comfort zone and taught me a valuable lesson of relying on your own instinct, your own gut, being independent. So I flew from Toronto to LA. I spent like 8 hours in LA just walking, you know, through Hollywood looking for the Walk of Fame because I was on a mission to find Janet's star, which I did. And then I went to the Greyhound bus station. I took the overnight bus from LA to Oakland. Got to Oakland at like 7 something in the morning. Was it? Yeah, around 7 in the morning. And then took the Uber to my hotel. And that really took me outside of my comfort zone because I'm like, I don't know anything about California. I know nothing about Oakland. And I wasn't in the most like shishi poo poo areas. No ma'am. But I had to learn how to navigate. I had to learn how to find food, hotel safety, where to go, conduct myself in an Uber. Not to say like I ain't never taken an Uber, but in Toronto, like I know where everything is. I know where to go. In Oakland, I don't know jack squat out here. So I really had to be very alert and mindful about my surroundings and the people around me. And stepping outside of my comfort zone in that way was such a big moment for me because I'm like, if I can do that, I can literally do anything because I'm so used to traveling like with my mom and my aunt who passed away almost 2 years now. So it was usually like us three that traveled together. So to have none of them with me and it's just like me, my phone, and the grace of God. That was it. And it was the best thing. And the purpose for even traveling to Oakland, I was celebrating my graduation. When I graduated the first time, my graduation was literally Monday, and Tuesday I started full-time work. So I said, we're not doing that again. I graduated, and then maybe like a month later, I'm like, okay, I'm going to California. I'm gonna see my favorite singer in concert for the first time. You already know, if you know me well, it's Shantae Moore. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to Yoshi's in Oakland. I'm gonna go watch Shantae Moore perform, all of that. So yeah, it was literally one of the best things I could have ever did, and I'm forever grateful for that experience. How do you define success for yourself, especially in a world that often imposes its standards? You know, success is different for everyone. So what my version of success is may not be the version for you, and vice versa. Success for me means being at peace mentally. It's being happy with where I am. Of course, your girl is trying to secure the bag, but I want to secure the bag in a peaceful way. Like, I don't want to be stressed every day. I don't want to have to be worrying about like certain things like deadlines and blah blah blah, right? Like, I don't need to have the most money in the world, but I do want to have money that makes me feel comfortable, where I don't have to worry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see you, you see me. You get it? All right. But that could look different for somebody else. So again, success is different for each person. So figure out what success looks like for you and work towards it. Right now, I'm at a place where I'm like, I'm happy mentally. I'm cool with what I'm doing, with what I'm making. Now it's about, okay, how do I level it up? How do I take it to the next step? But doing it in a way that works for me, not because I'm trying to follow societal pressures. Okay, what's a personal mantra or piece of advice that you hold close to your heart in navigating life's uncertainties? It's simple. Be yourself unapologetically. And I can't stress that enough because I feel like that's something people don't practice. It's something that you might take for granted. Be yourself. When I started to be myself, right, embrace the things that I love, a lot of good people started coming into my life. A lot of great opportunities started coming into my life. And if I wasn't being myself, then I can tell you right now, a lot of these things wouldn't have happened. A lot of the people who have met along the way, I wouldn't have met. So be yourself, be unapologetically you, stay true to who you are. It doesn't matter what people say. It might be quirky, dorky to them, but if that's who you are, stick to it. Because trust me, I am living proof. It works out in the end. Argue with your mama. Stay true to yourself, boo. Last question. What can you expect from your channel in 2024? There's a lot, I hope. So like I said, I haven't really been on here like that in the last couple of years. So I really do want to change that for 2024. I want to be consistent. I want to bring content that's authentic to me, that really represents me unapologetically. See what I did there? So on this channel, you can expect sit down videos, kind of like what I'm doing now. You can definitely expect vlogs, and a lot of the vlogs happen when it's just something exciting going on. I'm not like an everyday vlogger. I want to bring lifestyle videos. I want to bring content that represents me, and it's all gonna live here on Natalie Nadeen. But other than that, that's actually all the questions that I have for today and that I answered. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys tune in, subscribe. Let me know in the comments section what kind of videos do you want to see, what you want me to talk about. And I can't wait to just go on this journey with you guys and see where 2024 takes me. So thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure you follow me on social media at Natalie Nadeen on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and oh, I blanked for a sec. Unapologetically Her Pod on Instagram and TikTok. I'll see you guys in the next video. Much love, peace, and let's conquer 2024 together. Bye!